First.
Today we have pest management here. We're going to talk about some bed bugs and other pests that we have. This is an opportunity for you to ask questions. Make sure you ask the question loud and repeat. Home that's watching or going to watch it later can answer. And if you have a question you think about later and you didn't get a chance to ask it today, send me an email and I will be able to ask the questions at another time. I know there are some brochures back on the table regarding bed bugs, but if you have questions about other bugs and want more information, just let me know. So without further ado, pest management.
I usually yell, but I recently had my tonsils, so I'm going to take advantage of this microphone and hopefully that's going to work. Hey, my name is Mike Brown. I'm Vice President at Pest Management Services. So these first slides do only have bed bugs, but I'm still more than happy to answer questions about any other pests. I know, this time of season, you guys are experiencing a lot of different things. What to look for. Something as simple as changing your sheets. You may see a black spot, okay? Bugs, things of that nature. We'll get into a few slides that have photos, pictures of the egg. Get started. This is first slide you can't see. I don't know why. Well, let's just skip that. It's just basically explaining canine division. You guys already know that because we do the canines here. Sure, some of you remember we had that way, in the 40s, 50s, and here in the U.S., we're the only ones to think of some countries, some spots overseas, parts of India, Asia, Africa. A bug's not a big deal. If you're in a country where a big percentage of people are still, let's say, sleeping outside, or small huts, or houses with no windows, stuff like that, like it would be here in Chicago or New York, or some of the travel hubs. The smallest thing is a little bit more inconvenience to a more sophisticated. So, with that being, what happened was we fully eradicated them back in certain chemicals and certain methods, which are not allowed today. But when we did eradicate them, we did. What happened here in 2007, 2010, the market crashed. It was a time here in the States that it was so hard getting jobs. People were just original countries of origin. There was more travel. There was people going back to maybe where they were born, taking care of a loved one, things like that. And with this increase in travel, people are going back. They're coming back to the U.S. through hotels, luggage, travel, things like that. And the thing about it is just bringing one female. 4 eggs a day. Each of them babies mating with each other. And so, and the way they travel by hitchhiking, you building, having a bug that can lay eggs every day, and they if I came in and had one on my food down there today, and the guy came off my jacket and the couch in the back, probably tomorrow, I mean, that one, they would find each other. They detect each other very well, but they detect you very well, which is getting to the second thing. Most, um, okay, if you have, let's say, a reclining easy boy chair, you got it sitting by the window, you got your remote, you're spending several hours a day there, that's really in the bed, they are where you, which brings me to the next thing, your body. I've been doing this about 12 years. I've been in some houses that had them real bad. The tenant would just stop sleeping in one area and start sleeping on another. They would find some in the bed, start sleeping on the. They're going to make it to the couch as well. Going to pick up on your body temperature. Come forward as early as possible. Get management involved as early as possible. It's not something you're going to take care of on your own. Well, bed bugs are a bug that is just born, and we'll go through several stages of nymph stage. If you look here, we're starting with the egg. First nymph star. First nymph star stage is probably be very hard to find. Okay, in that first stage, they haven't been a blood meal. They'll grow in size very fast. They'll start adopting a reddish brown color, as you can see right up here. So that's a little over a month. That which is about the size of an apple seed. Um, um,
Are they much larger after they've had a meal or not?
absolutely. And after the feeding, it is larger than it. You're looking for a group. It's very possible. Just and your body temperature is stable. You're more detectable by the bed bug. Like I said, all over that, this and that. In cases, even the manager will. Or you move in with a family member, you're going to bring them for a few months without eating or biting somebody. The last thing we have here, travel by hitch. Inside the building or company. The other people on the couch, they travel by hitchhiking. The part of wood that is very not been painted or stained. There's some live bed bugs on the bottom. With bed bugs is this black spotting. If you were to change your sheet the next morning, in a professional inspection, stitching around a box spring or mattress, they have something touching their body at least on two sides. Picture right here in the upper right is just a little bit more. We had a question a little while ago. Is bed bug right here, which is going to relevancy and size. There's a little bit more pictures. A Bible, a lot of people will take it with them. Close to you, right where it wants to be. Or that, where's it at? Probably. You'll see that black spotting without even right here, okay? Been in homes. An army and all these other places. Look at the spots right there outside the book. One or two by contact. Houses 5 years later, 6 years later, and they still have the So again, this is behind the headboard. Layers of shellac. That right there. There's eggs on the outside. Right where the mother put. Above the furniture, right? There was a picture right above the bed. My guys already had the whole bed taken apart. They were steaming. Guys were steaming and taking the bed. Walked over there and took the. There was a perfect square of bed. Behind that picture, there was 2 cans of bug spray. So you got to think outside the box. Like if you're looking for roaches, they're always going to be. And I find them. They're all. I've been in buildings where I searched the whole. Smart enough to use that cord. We'll use that as a bridge. Oh, this happened. You'll always be able to detect them if you. Want to refer back to it? Well, we went from airport, hotels, luggage, what, well, like I said, bed bugs are traveling by hitchhiking. See quite often, well, the thing, we're still dropped a baby off for you. Caretakers and stuff in this property. Well, the ordinance is very one-sided. Check bed bugs, it was thrown out. So you can get a fine. as a tenant, you would have to as bed bugs. You're not going to get in trouble. You're taken care of the way it's supposed to be taken care of. Day night or something like that when somebody know. Well, the thing about bed bugs, you only need a source of ignition. Up. Sounds. I've even said it myself here today, right? So people may houses I've ever been in. See property managers do it. Where it is and start spraying your shoes. your parents or grandparents, yourself, boom, it sucked it right in. Or that you think has bed bugs, just don't. Dry. Now, when it dries, it's gone. When it dries, you can lick the chair. I mean, it's just not. A residual that breaks down. The same thing will happen with you. To the hardware store, get a so there's a knockdown agent in it. It's flying around your house, you spray it. You smell it, and now they're hiding. Now they're in a hole. To do is kill the one single bug. So, back when what happened was we found a couple. They're born into the environment. Which is the reason when bed bugs came. With exact. Okay. Question. There ain't a whole lot of things on the market. I do recommend using the dryer. that inform management, say, hey, well, if you walk in and you just see when you're introducing lady obviously is a hoarder, right? Will actually firmly wrap. Thing I was talking about is very visible. We're not going to waste your mattresses on the floor. We do a very complete treatment. You a lot about what's going on in the. So, like I said, they're great monitoring. Don't cause a bridge up.
Your furniture?
Absolutely not. So, and it's not because of level of. So if you have a couch,
Girlfriend, she moved in a new house. Turn in your box and they give it to somebody. My girlfriend, because they turn in your box, they reuse those.
and I is to be out of the unit. Going to harm you, the steaming, the vac. Well, if you have questions about the. So there, we keep coming back, and that's.
Period of time and all over again with that.
Can you repeat the question?
If you had bed bugs, let's say in the bedroom,
and there's been all that activity, it's been all cleared up, and you've all clear for that. The two
Uh-huh.
inspections. A month later, you find something somewhere else. All over again with everything?
No.
No.
Repeat.
Well, hopefully the mattress. So her neighbor had them. Said, you're not gonna get in trouble, just, tell the manager, hey, yes, sir.
We have a great housekeeping staff, but they go from apartment to apartment. And they make beds and fix couches and all kinds of things from one apartment to the next.
Yep,
How are you gonna deal with that?
well, I'd say in defense to this property, or, they know that
Bedbug gets on their clothing in one apartment and they go to another apartment. What? Bedbug from jumping off?
well, the thing is for them not to get it. Or to attack with it and just using their hand. I could tell you the building has taken,
Purchase a couple of those covers. I do them through you, through the thing or what?
no matter where you get them,
Was on our Justice Way?
yeah, there's, well, I'll tell you after this.
Cost of the service.
One of the things that happens if people get it is we're put on quarantine. So you have, if someone finds I'm coming.
Thank you.
You can come back and answer questions. Michelle and I will just answer the quarantine. The reason in quarantine is if you've identified, first I want to say, if you have bed bugs, if you suspect you have bed bugs, let me say that, let any manager or the front desk know immediately. The book and pest management will come out during the time it takes for pest management to come out and inspect. Will help mitigate the chance that a housekeeper would take a pest from one apartment to the next. If once pest management comes out and you are identified as having bed bugs, we do or to outside of the community. Within the community. You can go anywhere you want outside, you can go anywhere outside of the community, but we just ask that you don't go within the community. Delivered for free until which time you have a treatment that you are cleared of having bed bugs. We ask so that we don't have this spread in the community. We're trying to mitigate any others and our friends from having bed bugs or spreading them within the dining room, the library, or any other common space within the community. We can't stop individuals from going to doctor's appointments or outside of the community, but we
Likelihood of that.
Level of infestation.
The question is, what is the likelihood if you have been identified as having bed bugs of you taking that bug and spreading? The answer is it depends on the infestation. I will tell you that we have had bed bugs in the dining room. So they
Remember, nobody told.
that I can't answer. I
They
mean,
should notify people that.
with marketing, and I know that by
No.
city law, that there has to be, or ordinance, I'm not sure that is a brochure or
We should
something that's
report.
in the marketing packet that has to be
Yeah.
informed about the bed bug ordinance and what has to take place. I can, with the city of Chicago being, I think, the #1 for bed bugs, I'm not sure where you can go within the city. To the suburbs, I can only answer the city because that's the research I've done. But we do a very good job with the help of pest management residents of mitigating it.
How often do you bring the dog?
Quarterly.
Oh.
Bed bugs, the canine inspection unit comes every quarter. They were here in April, they will be here again in July.
Oh, good.
So the question is, how good are they? From my experience, I went with the dogs for almost the entire week when they were here in January. I was very impressed with both the seasoned or more senior dog and the puppies that they bring around. I was extremely impressed with how they handle the dogs, and when they plant, they have a vial that they will plant and watch the puppy. Then it's amazing to me that they are. They showed me, I was thoroughly impressed. This is something that they train for, and I kept saying at the end, dogs, a porterhouse steak, or assured me these dogs are treated very well. They're very well trained. But it is something that these dogs fully trained for.
Put them away, they don't do their press.
And the bed bug inspection is what you do to dogs, I don't know, it just is amazing. Because I think that those dogs do an excellent.
Acre facility out in Linwood, Illinois. Dogs, there's no other.
It's off to you.
All they do is get walked and trained all day. Like I said, they love working, and when they're not working or training, they're not happy.
The comment was that years, and she's just really impressed with how well the dogs have done. And the dogs do have a wonderful facility. All the handlers just comment on how well the dogs are trained and how they're treated out there. I mean, these dogs get it so bad to do the work. And they get so excited because they get a treat. It's just amazing, and they are happy. These dogs are really treated well. Yes.
Okay, I have a question.
All that time to reduce.
Department for a longer span of time to detect, checking to see if there were bed bugs. And more recently, the time has shrunk and they're in there for a shorter period of time during that inspection period. What's changed? What's happened that it makes it shorter?
So, 10 or 11. Going back that far, was another company. Fortunately, with that company is how I got in, because they didn't find out where the bed bugs were coming from. Several inspections in the building and was finding only one bug in units. And I determined at that time that they were coming, and not all the units like the previous inspection was saying. I said, already mentioned they were in the common areas. We found 5 chairs at that time that were in the movie theater. At that time was when we started doing it because the manager was impressed. We still work with her to this day at the other places she worked. But our dogs are more trained and they're older. The dogs we do it are like verge of retirement. You know, they 8+ years already. As soon as they get in the unit, they know where the bed bugs are. You know, our handler doesn't allow them to go right to the bed bugs because we have to take them through a procedure step by step. But I mean, honestly, if we just walked in there and let the dog go, we'd be out even faster. But you'll think we weren't doing our job. They could smell them immediately, you know. Now, if you're speaking about, like I said, 10 years ago or so, that other company, that dog, we actually sold him a dog before. Dogs weren't as trained, and he would take much longer. Yeah, and I don't want to knock another company, but yeah, he. Well, and another thing too is I noticed, because they do inspections, And they find a lot of bugs and they mark active that ain't bed bugs. So, we stopped following that person, even though he was giving us work. When your dog's not in bed bugs only or bed bug eggs only, it starts detecting other things, that will slow it down.
Reward them when they find something.
So different trainers have different ways of doing it. And the building is we're getting the reports from that other canine company, and the bugs we were finding were like carpet beetles and other sorts of larvae that were not bed bugs at all. Only positives were slowing down the inspection.
The dogs are usually going around the baseboards. What if the bugs are not there? They're in somewhere above the floor, in a
Yeah.
bookcase or,
Sure,
can they detect that?
they could smell pretty high. They find them even in between rooms. They found them in hallways, not in this building, but just walking through the hall, not even looking for bed bugs. From one room to room, they find them on accident. So
Been through the second stage of the group. And so on and so forth. To the second prevention of interceptors. Interceptors?
absolutely, that's what they're there for. They're
I mean, I'm not.
what they're there for to help with our inspections. Yeah, so the outside of the interceptor is actually rough. It allows them to climb in. And then inner moat and outer moat inside is actually smooth where they can't climb out. One up here. There's neither some great enables them to climb in but not climb out. Yeah. Oh. No, the technician on the 2 follow-ups, the technician will use it as a detection device.
The second inspection.
After your unit's cleared, that's up to you if you want to remove them. Okay. Like I said, when we do a treatment, we do it last, so you have protection, through the future. You're going to be losing out on some protection. Ma'am?
We have our housekeeper, manager here. Would you?
I'm not, I'll address it with the housekeeping crew if they're here. I'm not going to go.
No, sir, I'm addressing
She's asking
our
me. That's
manager.
Question was what we do as far as housekeeping and the bed bugs, as far as moving them from apartment to apartment or helping or stop the spread of them. So like Christina had said, once we detect that there is possible activity in a unit, housekeeping services are suspended until we have 100% clarity on if there is any activity or not. As far as like vacuuming, we change the vacuum bags. We are not going in and out of other residents' apartments if there is a possibility of bed bugs. There have been times where it is the housekeeping staff that will be the one that finds them because they're changing the sheets. They will notify me immediately. I will meet with the resident. Housekeepers then will go change the bag in their vacuum. They go change their clothing. We are very proactive on not spreading, any kind of pests throughout the building.
So, if you put your name in. Immediately?
We have somebody here from pest management for general pest control. So they come, spray, they will check whatever is put in the book. They are here doing all common areas. Then they come during the week for follow-ups. So they will, if it's a follow-up in a common area, follow-up in a residence apartment. We're trying to make it so it's only 1 or 2 days a week at Monday. But sometimes they're here 4 days a week, sometimes they're here 1 day a week. It all depends, but what we try to do is if we have the inkling that there is activity, it's, as long as the residents, management, and pest management are all working together, we address it as quickly as possible to resolve it as quickly as possible. Go ahead.
And my question. Or do you just arbitrarily say, I'm gonna go to that?
I know, I try to let the resident know right away. Phone call, I will come to your apartment, I will do whatever I have to do so we communicate so that we know what's going on, so that we're on the same page. Because we don't want them to come out, not be able to get into the unit. We make sure that we're approaching it and attacking whatever immediately.
So the resident-
Absolutely. I mean, there's residents too that'll say, hey, I have a doctor's appointment or whatever, I'm not gonna be there, but you can go into my apartment. I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question.
So if you. Not home, you're not coming out.
We do our best to make arrangements to where it would, satisfy your schedule as well. But usually when it comes to any kind of bugs or pests, I've never had anyone tell me that they wouldn't be available. We've been able to make arrangements so that, the resident would be there, and so like some residents just don't want, a technician that they've never met before in their apartment. So I don't mind going in there with the technician.
For being aware of what it is that they might possibly find with regard to pests. And it really is a good thing.
Right. I mean, it's something that's been newer to me too, and I think even Christina, but Christina, did a ton of research and she inspired me to do my research. And as long as we're all educated and we know what to look for and we all communicate with each other, we do not have a big issue. I mean, I hear it all the time from a lot of people because they're here so often. Oh my gosh, we have such an infestation in the building. And that's not the case at all. It's that we're staying a step ahead of it. We're being proactive so that we don't have issues. And that's why Christina put this on, so that we all are on the same page.
I want to thank Pest Management. I know we ran a little over, but you guys had some great questions, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to have Pest Management out and all of you came. I'm going to have them come out again another time to do something other than bed bugs. Maybe we can have a spring, I was hoping to get into some spring pests. I know people had talked about spiders and ants and different things. And mosquitoes and some ways that we can prevent those in our apartments and when we're out in the community. So I'll get with Pest Management and we'll schedule something probably in the next month or so about having them come back out and talk about
Good.
any other pest than bed bugs. But I thank you all for coming. If you have questions that you didn't get to ask today, you can always, catch me and we can add them to a schedule or questions about any other pest. I can make sure to for the next time they come out. But if you
Asian.
go, write that one down. So we'll get it to the next schedule and I will let you all know by memo and we'll get management out here again to answer some other questions. But thank you all very much, you guys. I think this was a great and informative opportunity. Thank you.
Sheets.